It's video games time. Hello, my name's Benjamin Yoder. I'm here today. It's one of those things again where I'm just like, I just sat down and decided to be here. It's not amazing, but I know what I'm doing today this time. I bought video games. So I recently, I guess I don't know when this comes out. At some point in the past, or frequently when I do my pickups videos, it's often Japanese import games and stuff like that. So, but I wasn't really planning to do any more anytime in the near future. But I did happen to buy a lot of games today, and so I just kind of grabbed some of the other games that I also bought, and I was like, hey, let's go through them. Let's talk about them a little bit. Most of these come from like a record store actually. I forget who, what's her name? I think her YouTube channel is called like Linda the Gamer Girl or Lauren the Gamer Girl. She made me aware of this record store in Las Vegas. And they have a pretty decent number of games, honestly. And the prices I think are decent, or at least they're not so high that I would not buy them. There's definitely, I think when you do a lot of shopping, at least in Las Vegas, here, I'll put my hand here so you guys can know you're looking at something. I think when I'm in Vegas, like if you go to like a game store that's like an actual game store, it's usually like $5 the lowest as you'll find, and then 8 is kind of the standard for like when I'm talking about like dirt cheap games nobody wants, and then like 10 to 20 for anything that is like reasonably somewhat desirable. And then obviously from there, you get into like the Zeldas and Marios of the world and stuff like that. So the price of these seem lower. I did not go and check the actual prices, but they're within. I think the big thing for me, a lot of times, what the important thing is finding the price that seems right for me to play something, not like, oh, what is the market rate kind of thing. I think if it was very expensive, I'd start asking that question more often, but these games are pretty dang cheap. So we got, I think, about 12 games here or something. So we're going to start with the first game I picked up off the shelf. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can adjust the, you guys can get a mouse here. Hello, look at my purple mouse. It's so purple. I'm gonna see if the exposure can be put down a little bit. But yeah, this is Smart Girls Playhouse. And Smart Girls Playhouse is well, you look at the cover and it's like this looks like shovelware or something like that. Let me try this. Yeah, I think that's gonna be better. It's like shovelware looking, right? But I looked at the back, and this is like where my bias comes in, and I don't like this bias. So this front cover looks like it's something very specifically made for the Western market, probably. Back cover, oh, these are like anime chibi girls on the back here. And it's like, oh, Starfish made that. That's a Japanese developer. Like suddenly I am significantly more interested than I previously was. So this thing is covered in tape and stickers. All these ones from this record label shop really are. I pre-cut this one. I didn't open it yet. I have had times before. Well, I went to this place once before and bought, I think it was a copy of Wii Fit or Wii Fit Plus. Sorry, and I got the game without the disc in the actual thing because they tape these up so much. And some of them will open. I don't know how they know which ones have. I'm sure there's something that says something, but like I don't know how they know which one of these have discs in them or not already. But $12 is actually a little high for something like this. Kind of surprised. I usually would expect a bit cheaper, but it's one of those ones where like as soon as I saw the back of this, I knew it was mine. So $12 probably something I'm willing to pay. But yeah, this looks like a bunch of like kitty mini games kind of thing. Okay, they do have like a little thing in here, so maybe this is like a tag that tells them whether or not there's a game in there or not. So we got the cartridge in there, Smart Girls Playhouse, and we do have a manual in here. I did look at the ad for this, or a trailer for this rather, and it seemed to basically be like, hey, you're gonna teach your kid like some of the first life lessons that they'll have through Smart Girls Playhouse. But this looks like a coloring book. It looks like making a lunchbox set, find the difference, match sounds, play piano. So it seems like it's probably like a kid's toy kind of thing, picture match, kid's toy kind of thing, bundled in with like a pretty cute package. So I'm gonna guess it's one of those things I'm gonna spend like maybe a couple hours with it, and then I'll probably be pretty good. I think the trailer said it won award for like best kids software or something for 2007 or something like that. I don't know if that's on this box. Fun casual game for kids. I don't see it on this box. I think it's in the trailer specifically. So I'll get the rest of these stickers off here, but not right now. I don't know if I know what this game is. Seven Samurai for the PlayStation 2. I don't know. Like the name Seven Samurai seems very familiar. Are these on the case or these this here? Oh, this things I gotta get off. But I looked at the back. I was like, this looks like it's probably okay. Engage in heart-pounding melee combat, supply an action game using samurai fight moves. Fight your way through massive futuristic cities with more than 40 unique enemies. Enter a cinematic experience full of moments inspired by Akira Kurosawa. Is that a movie guy? I feel like I've heard that name in the context of Ghost of Tsushima specifically. I'm not a movie guy. This case is kind of grungy. This case probably needs a little cleaning. It's got its GameStop funk preserved. Look, someone's got to preserve the GameStop funk. GameStops are going away. How else will future generations know these cases are kind of funky? So, okay, got a disc and a manual. It's like $22, I think, $23. This feels like a game that probably would be more expensive, but I don't actually know. I'm not too surprised it is more expensive. So, you know, I don't check discs nearly as much anymore, and a lot of that I think comes down to like if I get a disc that's bad, I'm okay just like pirating it however I need to. There's plenty of ways to load on, these games onto a PS2 and things like that. That it is a little bit more of a headache, sure, but I'm not gonna fret over my disc. Black and white, cheapoed it out. I wonder if Sammy was the original publisher in Japan as well. Oh boy. I think Maddie might be a caricature or something. So Sammy Studios Incorporated. Yeah. This is before I think Sega and Sammy merged. Oh, we're missing a clip here. And this is a generic PS2 case, so I don't think that's really a problem. I could probably find anything else. Oh yeah, we're gonna check to see if Alright, moment of truth. It's not on there, yay! I have a Donkey Konga case with the sticker on there. So yeah, it seems like probably could clean it up. Remember, maybe even just put a new case. I probably have a case for like a either a duplicate PS2 game I might have, or just like case for a game that I don't care about, as well. Kill Switch. I've always been interested in Kill Switch. This is I think where did I first see it? I probably saw it on X Play forever ago. Is this a cut in the plastic? Okay, this is a cut. I thought this was maybe like, well, I don't know. There's this weird thing. So this Kill Switch has like a line here on the logo, and I thought maybe it's like centering there, but this feels like an actual cut. So I think I misunderstood that this was like a crosshair. It looks like somebody tried to make it a crosshair. So okay, this one was just no, it's sealed on these two spots here. So a little bit of a different opening process. But yeah, this is I remember the big thing about this at the time was that it's a cover shooter kind of thing, and it was like one of the first well, I think I shouldn't say one of the first, but it was a game that brought cover shooters to a larger audience, not Gears of War-esque audience. But I remember people being like, hey, cover. Video games where you take cover. How about that? Let's see if that, yeah, okay. We got a Time Crisis 3 ad in here. Bunch of security things. It was that on the, okay. I think I saw a copy of Time Crisis 4 there as well. Well, I don't know anything about Time Crisis really. I mean, I guess I played Time Crisis 1. But yeah. But yeah, it's one of those games that I've just always kind of wanted to check out. It's a Namco published game. I don't know who developed it. There's a weird GBA version of this game as well. But oh, here we go. Yeah, this is a Western dev, I think. Looks like it, yeah. Or no, this is all QA. Lead tester, QA, product marketing. Okay, here's the actual video game. Yeah, it's a Western dev. Does it say the company specifically? Not seeing company name. Is Namco Home Tech. Oh, it's a Renderware game as well. Interesting. But yeah, I just thought it always looked kind of neat. But yeah, I don't know if there's a lot to it, but I'd be curious to see, how it actually, handles cover and how it feels compared to today's games. I almost left Time Crisis out. Time Crisis, get back in there. I'm gonna put two games up here. I'm gonna change this exposure thing again. I don't like that it's like fading in and out. I feel like I would rather it be more consistent. All right, I think that's better. I'm gonna keep the slider up here. We can adjust as needed. Um, these two games I bought not because I intend to play them, but because I have already played them, and they're cheap enough, $5 on sale. And I was going back to my backloggery and trying to add some games that I rented from GameFly but never actually um got a copy for, and I thought $5 was like pretty reasonable. So these are more or less just gonna go straight back into my collection of things, and if I need them in the future for something, they'll be there. These are stupid purchases, I will say, so I'm not endorsing this action of mine, this moment of mine, but I've done this with El Shaddai as well in the past, where I'm like, I don't really have any intention to replay El Shaddai, but just in case I need to replay Dishonored or Bioshock, they're there. The Destiny of Zorro. I do not remember this game coming out. I don't know if this is associated with a Zorro movie. I feel like there was a Zorro movie around this time. I could be wrong. But I think anytime you put a sword guy in a Wii game, I'm like, hold on a moment. He has sword just like Wii Remote. Wii Remote could be sword. I don't know if that's actually the case here. But yeah, hopefully it's pretty short. I think it's like a 14 levels long. I don't know how long that is. Both night and daylight scenes available. But yeah, it looks like it's kind of like a use the unique Wii controls and you can whip, slice, and of course perform Zoro's signature Z slash. So yeah, I think we're getting some motion controls here, which is what I want. Picking up. Oh, I found the reason why I can't open it. There's another piece of tape down here. They tape these things up. They really want to make sure you do not steal this copy of Zorro. And on top. Excuse me, do not steal. We will go bankrupt if you take this copy of Zorro. The disc only. So. Oh, full color manual. That's pretty nice. But yeah, I think it's just like a third-person action game. There's no real screenshot of the game in here as far as I can tell, or at least not much. I wouldn't be surprised if this is on all platforms, but you know, the Wii version with the Wii motion controls, I think, is probably what's going to get my interest with this. So, preparing myself for someday playing One Chambara. It's him. It's Charles Martinez. $15 seemed pretty cheap for this. I could be wrong. That could be normal price. I have this game on the Switch, but I mostly bought it for Bowser's Fury. The reason I want to pick this one up is because I am interested in what the Wii U's gamepad functions are with this. So, I don't know when I'll play this. I do need to play more Mario games at some point. I've been kind of behind on them, even like Super Mario Wonder and the Princess Peach game and stuff. And like, I like these games. It's just hard for me to get to them, but I enjoy them, and I really enjoy the experiences I get out of most Mario games. So you know, I might be kind of weird to say that. I mean, at heart, like, I still come from a Nintendo background, so a lot of these games usually, especially these ones that I think really kind of have very specific reasons to exist a lot of times. I don't know how to put that. It's like a lot of times with a lot of older Nintendo stuff, I feel like there's a lot of, it may be true, maybe it's just true across the board with all Nintendo stuff. I feel like they usually won't make a game unless there's a reason for it to exist. And so that means that when I play these games, there's usually some kind of interesting thing going on. I will say I never played the 3DS game, so I don't know what's different. If the 4-player element here is the difference, I'm probably not gonna play this 4-player. Or if I do, I'll play it on the Switch probably. So, but I don't really play online games with anybody on the Switch, so this is kind of just a me thing. So yeah, I just have been sleeping on this one, and I thought $15 probably a reasonable price for me to try it eventually. Thinking of trying eventually. So this was one of the killer apps for me on the Wii. So this is before, I believe. Sorry, I have this knife out here still. Oh, I still need it. I believe this was before I played a Grand Theft Auto game. So I was looking at this game and being like, hey, I've been meaning to play a Grand Theft Auto game. What about Lego City Undercovered? And this was like one of the big reasons I wanted a Wii U event initially. I was not sold on Zombie U when I first saw it. Later on, when I played Zombie U, I was like, oh no, Zombie U is great and amazing. I wish I bought Zombie U when it came out. But this was the game that kind of was like, oh, I really want to check this out on the Wii U. I think this got ported later. I don't know 100% sure, but I believe that's the case here. But yeah, I believe it's just a Lego theme. Well, I haven't really played Lego games either, so it was kind of like a double doozy. And I think this kind of like tone, I generally like. I know there's like weird stuff these days. I feel like with like media that portrays cops in good light with some people. And I get it. But I guess these. I get it. Or at least I don't know. I do feel like I get it, but I generally do like the role that like a cop plays in a video game. I like playing like Barney and what's that game? I was about to say Harvest Moon. You remember Barney the cop in Harvest Moon? And then also I've always been interested in that Battlefield game Hardline. I remember there's like some weird stuff. Not Hardline. Is it Hardline? I think it's Hardline. There's some weird stuff with Hardline specifically. When it came out, I think there's like some kind of big event with like a police shooting or something, or a police officer shooting somebody, and so people got kind of upset at the release timing and stuff like that. But I don't think Lego City Undercover got that same scrutiny at the very least. So I've always wanted to check this one out. And I don't even remember, it was like $10, I think is what the price was on the case, right? And I've been trying to think of more stuff to play on the Wii U, because I think I sat there and was thinking, I was like, oh, I don't think there's lots left for me to play on the Wii U. Then I sat there and started thinking, I was like, oh, there are things that I need to play on the Wii U still. I just forgot about them. And this is one of those games that I really want to play. So I think I think there is some other versions of this. I just don't remember what platforms, but I believe this is the platform it came out on originally. I've been on a PSP journey lately. I popped myself a copy of Hot Shots Tennis. Get a grip. This was on sale for $5. I have very little experience with the Hot Shot franchise. I have the original Hot Shots Golf on the PlayStation. It was like my mom's fiance's copy that he didn't have the case for. So the loose disc that's in like a music CD case. I don't even know what the music CD is. The case is in. It might not even be in that case anymore, but it's like some random soundtrack, and it's been in there. And in my brain, if I don't have the case, a lot of times that means I don't own the game. And so I don't think about it very often. In some ways, the case is more important than the game itself, because I can load an ISO. I mean, when I play this, I'll be loading an ISO because my PSP's disk drive does not function. But yeah, I thought this kind of looks cute. I think the Hotshot games always look cute. I just don't understand. I don't know what the Hotshot franchise is about, right? Get it? It's a golf game, right? This is a tennis iteration. It has a cute aesthetic, right? I don't know much about it otherwise. I assume if this is such a long running franchise, there's probably some appeal to it otherwise. I don't know. I could be wrong. It could literally just be tennis, man. It could literally just be tennis. Where is our sticker? Sticker's right here. Just find the sticker or the tape every time. Let me open. Once this is done, I might go play some Dynasty Warriors on the PSP. I've been trying to finish that up. I'm getting pretty close. I think about 2/3 the way through, and I'll probably wrap that up. I'm gonna finish it out on the Vita TV just to get some footage. Thankfully that game it's not opening, so there's some kind of. Is this it? Jeez, this clear tape on a clear case is not ideal, and I feel like I'm cutting into the plastic. There we go. Got it. This guy's got crazy hair. I don't think I realized it was so crazy because it was covered in the box. But yeah, this is really nice inside. Oh man, look at that. Oh god, I love this outfit. Let me show you real quick. It only does everything. That is the PS3 model I have. This like Hawaiian-ish kind of look. I like that a lot. Got our UMD here. My PSP 3000 UMD, I believe, still works, so I could play this off of UMD if I really wanted to. But we'll see. Yeah, but I don't know. Hot Shots in general just has a cute aesthetic. I just don't know if there's anything else to it, right? If it's just like, hey, this is just Sony doing their thing, and they just make it cute every time, and that's why people like it, right? That might be totally it. I don't really know. But But yeah, I think the PSP and the Vita. I mean, there's a lot of things I'm trying to do right now. I think there's a lot of things that I consistently say like I really want to get into this and I haven't gotten to it. And the PSP is one of those things. Fighting games are not one of those things. There's like a lot of things I'm just like I'm not saying I need to go and play like the entire PSP library and what I need it to be, in the short term. But I want to be in a position where I am playing PSP at least as often as my other consoles. I want to just involve that in my life so I start making progress. Because otherwise, I feel like the last 10 years of my life have been like, I need to play more PSP games. I need to play more PSP games. And I never do. So, Hot Shot. Actually, did we look at the manual? I don't remember. I do like these like vertical manuals, but maybe let's see. Maybe there will be some Hot Shot Bridget. Anything in here that jumps out is just like, man, there's a career mode. There's a dating sim in here. Is that what's going on in here? I don't know. There maybe not. Again, this may be totally just a tennis game. We got perfectly timed shot, missed shot, straight shots, early shot, late shot, weak shot. I played what's it called? It's just cute. So that might just be it. Might just be cute dress up tennis and golf. Let me tell you about the Panya Golf Series. Receiving the sharing version. You can share, I'm guessing, for multiplayer. All right. I didn't see anything crazy in there, so I'm going to guess Hot Shot is just cute. Cutie sports. Speaking of cute, it's them. Monster High Ghoul Spirit by THQ. Look at this logo. That is a modern looking THQ logo. I don't know how many games I have with that logo on it. I've been interested in checking out the Monster High series for a while. I don't know anything about the show. It's high school. There's monsters. They're ghouls. And sometimes they're spirits. THQ. That's about where I'm at. But when I talked to Pokey Puff a long time ago about Bratz. Bratz as a game series is not something I have like a ton of like interest in from like a visual perspective. Like Bratz is just not my aesthetic. But I do want to play a Bratz game eventually because I am curious about it. But Monster High looked like it could be my Bratz of like, it is just very like kind of like hangout fashion girls at high school kind of deal. And I do generally like the kind of like monster aesthetic to it. And you make your own like ghoul girl. This kind of comes back a little bit to what I was mentioning earlier with like my weird prejudice on certain Western games. Like generally, I prefer Japanese anime cute like kind of things. I would much prefer this to be anime girl thing. I'm trying to get over that. I'm trying to be more open to that. But I will say these characters definitely, they don't look like anime, but they're definitely characters that look like they're inspired by the anime aesthetic to some extent. So it's very funny, I think, that I'm like very like, oh, I want the anime girl thing, and then also I don't watch anime. But yeah, I'm really interested in checking this out. I kept coming across the roller derby game, which is the racing game, and or I assume it's a racing game. I just didn't have a lot of interest in that. Maybe someday. I have a lot of racing games just kind of sticking around too, so I generally try to avoid buying them. Look at me say that, and then like look at there be a racing game in this pile or something. I don't remember if there is, but we'll see. Rubik's World. I have no idea what this is, but let me tell you, if you remember me talking about Zensis recently, the Game Factory is the developer of Zensis. So what if this is Zensis for the Wii? I assume it's a Rubik's Cube based puzzle game, and the back leads me to believe that. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about that other than just the Game Factory made it, and I like the Wii, and I don't have that many puzzle games on the Wii actually. It looks like you're probably rotating around, grabbing pieces. Looks like you're breaking stuff. Maybe there's like multiple different kinds of games in here. Not quite sure. But just kind of reading through here real quick because you have deconstruct, create, compose. Rubik's World, there's a DS game, and this is the different language version. All, color manual as well. So, yeah, it just kind of was caught my eye. I don't think the things on here. I think it was like $8 or something, or maybe cheaper, maybe 5, something like that. this is more where I expect to be getting puzzle games more often. I am trying to play more puzzle games as well. So getting down to like, I always complain about not playing enough puzzle games. In my mind, when I think of puzzle games, portable seems to be a place that puzzle games seem to thrive, right? And so I'm trying to get portable games kind of back into my life, playing in small sessions. That's what I was doing with Dynasty Warriors for the PSP, and that's why I wasn't capturing it like I normally capture games. So that was kind of the intention. And Polarium's one of those games I just, for a long time, I never picked up, but it was a early DS game. And at the time, I just wasn't into puzzle games really. I have Medios and I just never got into it. I beat it. And I recently went back and tried to play it, and I couldn't get into it initially at least. But I also think I need something that feels new and exciting, where I know the core concept of Medios, so it's not very exciting. But Polarium, I don't really know. I know it's a touch-based game. I always kind of assumed it was kind of like P-Cross. I'm gonna guess it's nothing like P-Cross, but that's kind of in my mindset of what Polarium is. But I remember people talking very highly of this at the time. I don't know if there's any other follow-ups to this. If there's like a Polarium 3D on 3DS or anything like that, but yeah, I don't know. I think this is pretty cheap as well. I think this game's always been pretty cheap. I think Nintendo produced way too many copies of this up front and probably was considered a failure, but the back of this is pretty nice too. I don't know how to describe it. Just got little stylish drawing lines. My impression is that Polarium is a game about drawing lines. Princess Natasha, student, secret agent, princess. That's it. I looked away, then I was like still remembering what I was saying there. I think I remember correctly. There might be some damage to this case. I don't remember for sure. Like the plastic's coming off, or maybe it's a different game. This is looks like a Nickelodeon show. Maybe not. Student, is this Nickelodeon? Oh, I thought it was a Nickelodeon thing. Maybe it's not. I think I maybe thought it was a Nickelodeon thing. Oh yeah, the damage is right here. I thought it was a Nickelodeon thing because of this like orangishness and like this orange background. I don't know if it's based on a show or not, actually. I don't know. I thought aesthetically it looks kind of neat. It's like a little 2D platform, it looks like, and it looks like the different outfits and stuff might change. Her moveset, she's got a little sci-fi suit on there. Woo. I don't know if this is an original IP or if this is something that was like based off a show or something. Starting the game. Secret agent. Okay, she's a secret agent. So maybe it's just that one outfit. Secret agent outfit. She's got tools on the screen. Citizens and zombies. Okay. Yeah, it looks like maybe it's just that one thing, but it looks like a little 2D platformer or something. I'm gonna guess pretty short. But yeah, I think in my head I looked at this and was like Nickelodeon show. And looking at this, I don't actually know if it is licensed. www.princessnatasha.com, AOL, all rights reserved. KOL is registered trademark of AOL. Yeah, I don't know. Are you a Princess Natasha fan? Tell me about the Princess Natasha lore. I don't know. I was about to sing, I think, the Battlefield theme, and I said, wait, this isn't Battlefield. And then I was like, is this Band of Brothers? No, it's not Band of Brothers. And then what is that show called? What are they called? X-Men. The X-Men Saturday morning cartoon theme popped in my head, so I was start to about going, which even that might be the Deus Ex opening theme. That's in my head. Anyways, we went through a series of things here. Brothers in Arms, the DS. I've always been super interested in shooters on the DS. I got GoldenEye Rogue Agent when I first got my DS, and I was really excited about it and played it. And I don't think I played another shooter since. That's a lie. Dementium. I did play Dementium the Ward. I think I rented it. I don't think I bought it. Actually, I don't know. Do I own a copy of Dementium? I'm not sure. I may have rented it. Yeah. And so, there's a bunch of Call of Duty games and things like that. And I do eventually would like to play the Call of Duty games, but I feel like the Call of Duty game prices are a little higher than I'd like most of the time. So at some point I might just need to cave and pirate them at some point if they don't ever drop. But Brothers in Arms was quite a bit cheaper. I think it was maybe closer to $10. But it's a third-person shooter. I assume squad-based shooter, but I don't actually know. It's got 4-player multiplayer, which is kind of interesting. I'm curious if that's the whole campaign or not, but I'm not going to be able to do it. I did accidentally buy this without the manual. It's not a big deal, probably. I'm guessing we're not going to get any like really cool World War II brothers in arms art that we've never seen before in here. But most of the time, the manuals are mostly helpful for Japanese games where sometimes the art isn't available online. And so the DS or the manuals can be helpful for giving me art for like, YouTube thumbnails and things like that. So, but yeah, I just really been interested in playing like a full 3D shooter on the DS again. And I haven't really played a action based one in a long time. And GoldenEye Rogue Agent as a video game is just not great. And so playing something that's a little bit more developed, a little bit further along in the system's lifespan, I think would be pretty cool. I would still like to play a Call of Duty game on the DS at some point, but I just haven't found a copy cheap enough for me to pick up. Major Minor Majestic March. I forget who recommended this to me. Somebody at some point said you should check this out, and I believe somebody involved with Parappa the Rappa did this. I don't know, but the characters vaguely look like that. But I remember at the time people were upset because it was not as challenging as Parappa the Rapper, and it seemed very much like it was aimed at kids specifically. Majesco published it, interestingly enough. So, but aesthetically, I think this kind of looks like it. So I think a lot of people who are like, I don't know if it's like the style savvy situation where there's this game being made by a guy and you really want a new game from that guy, but he's making a game, or whoever, I don't know, he, she, or whatever. They're making a game, and that game has a different goal than what you want from them, right? And so you get a situation where fans of the original don't like the new thing you made because you didn't make it like the old thing, right? And then, we don't really actually know if the old thing was the thing that he was trying to do or they were trying to do. So, but yeah, I think you kind of march around town with a bunch of people following you, and you use the Wii remote to kind of like move it up and down and march people around town. So, anytime you're using a Wii remote, I'm pretty excited, interested. I love this disc. Look at this disc, man. Nice purple. He's got a big forehead. Can play tic-tac-toe on that forehead. But black and white manual inside. So, but yeah, it just was a game that has always been on my to-do list. Cookie Mama World Kitchen. I don't think I own Cookie Mama World Kitchen. I'll call references. I don't know if I want to play another Cookie Mama game on the Wii. Babysitting Mama. Look, Babysitting Mama on the Wii. Here's the problem with Babysitting Mama on the Wii. You need the baby, okay? And if you get a used baby, it's kind of gross. Usually it's been covered in dust, dirt, and grime. So you got to restore that baby in a way that's going to make sense, I feel like. Or you just need to get a new copy of Babysitting Mama for the Wii. It's a Nintendo Labo situation where you don't want to buy a used Nintendo Labo, right? I could be wrong about that. Maybe you're fine with your grimy baby, but I kind of want a clean baby. Don't be gross, baby. Jeez. Have there been any other import games in this bundle? This might be the only import game I got. I got this at a convention. This actually Major Minor. Major Minor? Major Minor's Majestic March. I also got a convention. So convention pricing kind of applied. It was like $8 to $10, something like that. My home dream. This is as far as I can tell, a like just house decorating thing on the PlayStation 1. And on the back of this, there's just somebody's kitchen rendered in a PS1 style, and a house layout, and a house in a PS1 style. So I don't know. I was like, I can try to build a house in Japanese on a PS1. Look at this thick manual. Holy moly. I'm gonna guess this is gonna be a pain in the butt. However, now, there are faces in here. People are talking, so there is a chance there's a story here. I would not be surprised if there's a story here. But I'm going to guess when it comes to functionality of this game, most of it's going to be figuring out menus. Now, there could be requirements. Maybe you need to build a house that has certain requirements, and that might be challenging, right? So there could be something there. We have some ages of characters, as well as their weight and height, of course, and their age as well, maybe. I think there is a possibility this might work out okay. I don't know for sure. It could be awful. It could be one of those situations where it's like so sim based that I will never be able to understand it. But yeah, it's just something about it screamed at me. Obviously you can do something like this in The Sims, but I think doing this on a PlayStation specifically dedicated to building a single house or something is kind of cool. So that seemed appealing to me. Well, anyways, that's it for the game. This is not new, but Barry's here. Barry from Love and Barry. Everyone, give it a hand. It's Barry from Love and Barry. She's here. She's there. She's gonna stand around. There is actually, I didn't intend for this, but Barry has some exciting news for us all. All right, Barry, thank you. Thank you again for coming today for this incredible announcement. Um, we did it, guys. The Love and Berry or Sega card reader for Mushi King, Love and Berry, and some English learning game I don't remember is here. We have it. Now, what does this mean for the future of One Controller Port? Well, let me tell you. For a decade now, One Controller Port has been a proud owner and shareholder of this copy of Love and Berry for the Nintendo DS. And Love and Berry for the Nintendo DS, I've played it before without the scanner. It's pretty useless in my opinion. You can kind of play it, but this is a game about fashion dress up, and you need to scan cards to get fashion dress up, right? So, like, this is a historic moment where we're connecting the Lord's card reader to this man-made copy of Love and Berry. And so you might be wondering, oh, Ben, that's wonderful. That's great. You can't play it into a 3DS. And Ben, I'm pretty sure you only have a 3DS capture card. You're right. I only have a 3DS capture card. So when it comes to Love and Berry on the DS, there is actually ways to emulate the card reader. It seems like people have figured that out. But you guys know me. We are also now a proud owner of a new DS FAT. Now, this is not a capture modded DS FAT, but my previous DS, our previous DS, unfortunately, was in a significantly worse condition. There's a broken hinge, the speakers don't work, the microphone doesn't work, all that stuff. And getting this capture modded just seemed like a bad idea. But look at this pristine, clean 3DS. And I am currently watching the DS capture page because they're not in stock, but I am hopeful that someday soon we will be in proud ownership of a DS capture card so we can bring these things together. Now, the last step in this process, once I get the capture card done, is I'll need to purchase me some Love and Berry DS cards, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited today to say that that is within our plans within the next, let's say, fiscal year 2024. I believe we will be in ownership of some of those cards. So look forward to it. Look forward to the Love and Berry moment that we all dream of today. Thank you so much for coming to this One Controller Plus E3 2024 presentation, and we hope you look forward to it.